Greetings everyone, my name is Greg. In this video I am going to talk about the idea of spirituality and why it is a crock of shit. Not to mention why even those that claim to believe in this spiritual, divine, higher consciousness bullshit really don't believe it. Not really. What it comes down to is something Daniel Dennett had said. What they believe in is belief. They don't really believe in magical beings because their reaction to one simple question when they talk about their personal experience evidence of spiritual, divine, higher consciousness bullshit, they want to point to, like this one Beth Green had said about how spiritual, divine, higher consciousness, whatever fucking term you want to give it, had said to her about a house that she felt was out of her budget. But when she wasn't going to even inquire into this, but because of being directed by the spiritual, divine, higher consciousness shit, she did and ended up getting the house. And I had asked her the question of, why is it that the spiritual, divine, higher consciousness is interested in you getting possessions, but not interested in helping starving children? Which she wouldn't answer that. She went to how I was so angry. And it's yeah, I get angry at the idea of children starving and people talking about how they're getting magical genies, pretty much, to give them shit, but those magical genies aren't going around giving food to starving children. Different people tried attacking me on that, and it ended up that what they were attacking me on wasn't what I was saying. It was how they were reading into what I was saying. One person had said about, I used to be part of a church that was about what you're preaching, which is sell your shit and give it to the poor. And I had said, nowhere in anything that I said did I say a damn word about you selling your shit. That wouldn't prove the spiritual anyway. Because if you sell your shit to give money to the poor, then the one that is helping the poor is you. It's not evidence of a spiritual anything, a divine, a higher consciousness, because it's not coming from that. It's coming from you. It reminded me of the Star Trek episode Next Generation called The Devil's Due. It was a good episode, and the premise of that was there was this supposedly mythical Ardra that the people of this planet had made a deal with, that for 1,000 years of peace and so forth, that when Ardra came back, it would get taxes, and basically they would be their slave. And when they showed up, this woman was claiming to be Ardra. The Enterprise was in orbit, and she tried saying that made the Enterprise also her property. And Picard was, I don't accept your claim, for one. And for another, he had Data go over the contract. Read it. And it's you have an android there that can read your contract, of course. That's the perfect one to do so. But what it boiled down to was, he had said ask this Ardra, did you set the changes in motion with their environmental to cause them to fix their planet? No. Did you give them a government that would help bring in this and sustain this 1,000 years of peace? No. Did she even pick up one piece of trash? No. Then he's like, it looks like your people did it, fixed their world, and did it themselves. They didn't need. Maybe people back then had come up with this story of Ardra in order to bring about the change in the society. But the thing is, the change came from the people. It didn't come from. And what it ended up, it was an alien that was there using a hologram aspect to change their form appearance-wise in order to play this role, to try and con these people. The thing is, it's a good metaphor for what the spiritual are trying to do. Because when you hit them with, if these spiritual, divine, or higher consciousness are interested in giving you things, why is it that they're not doing the same for starving children? These people, I think every single one of them, will take it and try and twist it to being, you're saying people should do it. No, I'm not. I'm saying that the magical beings that you're attributing, that you're getting whatever bullshit you claim to have gotten from them, why aren't they giving food to starving children? Not you, not anybody on this, not any human on this planet, because if humans would find a solution for world hunger, then the reason that number one, that is not evidence of a spiritual, divine, or higher consciousness. It is evidence of people, humans, finding the solution and doing what is necessary to bring about the change. If you want to try and say that you have a God, that you believe in a God, and that it gives a fuck about you, then show me evidence of it doing so. Don't run your mouth and act like it cares about you so much. Prove it. I don't care about your beliefs. I don't care about your claims. I want to see the evidence to support your claims. That's what I'm saying. Because it comes down to, and I mentioned this to a coworker when I was throwing a truck and I needed him to pretty much catch boxes because there were boxes on top of other skids that were at the back of the truck. And I had mentioned this to him, and he had said, yeah, he has a religious aunt, that there were different times the church and so forth had helped her and so forth, but that's the church. That's people doing it. And I was, exactly. If you have, be it Christian organizations that are trying to help people, or even atheist organizations that are trying to help people, if you're getting help from an organization of people, that is evidence of people helping people. It is not evidence of your God, spiritual, divine, higher consciousness. It's not evidence of any of that shit. It is evidence of people doing things to help other people. One person had mentioned the law of reciprocity. Now, for one, I don't even know that there is such. However, the idea that if you do good things for others, others will do good things for you, in a sense, what goes around comes around type of thing, I understand it, but it does not support and prove the existence of a God, a spiritual, a divine, a higher consciousness. All it would show is that if you help others, that basically nature, to use the term karma, law of cause and effect, what you give out, what you send out will come back to you. That would be in effect. And it may very well be to use the term, a cosmic law aspect of cause and effect. What you send out will come back. Because in my life, the way I live my life, I try to be as positive as I possibly can. Like I said in my live video, you're seeing a snapshot of my life, and a lot of times you're seeing where I'm addressing a particular subject. You're not seeing my entire life. You're not seeing how I am even at work. The thing is, I don't have negative people around me. I simply don't. If somebody is going to be that way, they're going to be gone. they're not going to be in my world. It's just that simple. So it's one, I don't have drama in my life because I don't put up with having those around that would create that. So it's one, the aspect of, to use the term cause and effect, it is in place, it does work. But you have to, in a sense, look at what you're doing. That if you're getting a result that you don't like, look at what you're doing that is causing that and change your behavior. Or change who is in your world that could be bringing that negative aspect in. Because it's coming from somewhere. It's not just coming by magic. And that's the thing with this aspect of magical beings and so forth. Even those that claim to believe in this spiritual, divine, or higher consciousness, when it really comes down to it, they don't believe in magical beings magically putting things here. They simply don't. I think they would laugh at the idea of that's not in the New Age bullshit or the religious bullshit. So they would be, yeah, that's absurd. But that's exactly what they're saying. The thing is, if there would be a spiritual, divine, or higher consciousness shit, if it would do anything for anyone, it would be very much like if there was a Q, going back to the Star Trek references again, a character of Q that could change and do anything like that. If something like that would be here and bring changes about, people would look at it as a god. They would stop trying to do things for themselves. They would instead look to the magical being. I need this. I need that. Do this for me. Do that for me. Give me, give me, give me. And it would retard our evolution as a species. So if such would exist somewhere in the universe or in the multiverse type of thing, then logically, if it would have a brain in its skull, it would look at us and go, they're too primitive. They're not ready. So even if it would exist, it would be, we're not getting involved with them. They're not ready for us. They're not ready for our level of life form. Because they would look at us as a magical thing that they could rely on instead of doing it for themselves. And that is why, even if such would exist, to where we are in our current stage of evolution, it wouldn't be coming around. It wouldn't be bothering with us. Because much like the character of Q had it said when asked by Riker in the pilot episode Encounter at Farpoint, of why in all of our history have we never heard of someone like you? And he was, well, up until now you've been, well, boring. You haven't been all that interesting. That's the thing. Right now, where we're at, we wouldn't be even close to the same level or even a level where it could communicate with us. So the idea that something would, it's really acting as if we're king shit a turd mountain, and we're not. With the way we are currently, with where we're at socially and so forth, hell, we can't even have peace between races. We have people that are fighting over skin color, let alone someone from a completely different world. Even for all these people that want to say that they're ready for alien contact, are you really? Given the fact that even with, like, someone like me, I have a very big, in a sense, dislike for the religious bullshit. Because I see it as going back to barbaric bullshit. But we have to get to a point, and I would think the secular show me evidence is the way to go. Because even the religious want evidence. If you try telling them about, you could give them like a car and so forth. Everybody will be looking at it, all right, what's the catch? All right, you're going to give me this, you're going to do this, you're going to do that for me. What's the catch? What do I have to do? Wait a minute. How do I know you're not trying to con me? Prove it to me. Convince me. Everybody would do that. If they wouldn't, they're a damn fool. Because there are tons of con artists in this world that are just looking for a sucker. The truth of the matter is, people want evidence, no matter how religious they are. The thing is, the religious have simply bought into bullshit as evidence. Especially doing the shell game of, if people help the poor, that's evidence of a God. It's not. It's evidence of people doing nice things. It is not evidence of a God. And with the way the economy is, and for as hard times as a lot of people have, to try and act like people should be ending poverty, it's not feasible, it's not viable, because a lot of people have a hell of enough time being able to support themselves, let alone trying to help others. The thing is, there are some that are wealthy that do, and kudos to them. They're the only ones that really can, because until you have more money than you need to survive and live on, you can't really go and help others, because you're struggling yourself. So for people to try and say that you have to take care of the poor, no, when you're just not much, in the United States, we have opportunities that they don't have in Africa, in the places where they do have this extreme poverty. The thing is, that doesn't mean that we should, in a sense, live in squalor just because that gets into the aspect of white guilt and so forth, and it's bullshit. I'm not in favor of, and I am not saying that people need to do this. Now, as a society, we would need to find a solution for hunger. But it would be something that, if we as a people, as a society, and I would be thinking almost global society, would find a solution for it, then it would be humans that have ended hunger and poverty, not a God. And the idea that it's even in the Bible of birds don't reap and so forth, bullshit. Animals are constantly going out looking for food in order to survive. The thing is, me and my girlfriend, we have 4 cats that are outside cats that they look to us for food. They come down, we see especially in the snow, we see the little tracks. And when I came home tonight, I saw their dish was empty. Okay, so I'll fill it. They're not themselves, in a sense, looking for food, but if that wouldn't be there, they would have to go out and either hunt for like mice or whatnot, or find some food source of their own. Animals are not being fed by a magical God. None. There is no God feeding a single animal. The animals that get food have found a food source and either hunt for their food or do something whereby they are getting that food. They are basically they're taken care of either through their own hunting and so forth, or through the actions of someone like me and my girlfriend. Or if you have a pet and so forth, you're taking care of them. But the thing is, there's nothing magical that's doing it. It is people that are doing it, or they're doing it themselves. That's the point. That's what I was getting at with these people, but they want to twist it, because that's what the religious or spiritual are about, is taking something that is hitting them right between the fucking eyes. They want to twist it and turn it on its head. But that's not the case. But feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Later, people.